everybody, it's day one of this project.
And we're getting underway, and we got a lot of fun stuff ahead of us. Right now, we're going to start ripping and tearing, getting everything out of our way so we can start this project.
I get to use a hammer.
Yeah, well, I'm going to step out of the way if you don't mind. There you go. Good job. All right, you got that in, Connie?
I think so.
All right, come on, lift her up. Come right through here.
Yeah, it's a little heavy.
You're a strong girl.
I work out. So Jim, everything is coming out except the pool.
Yes, it is. I mean, this is a total rehab project. So the pool stand, it's going to get cleaned and serviced. It hasn't been used for several years, but it looks like it's in pretty good condition overall. We're also going to clean and seal the concrete deck around the pool, but everything else is coming out. All the old walls, all the old pavers, all the fencing is all being removed and being replaced with all new material.
I can't wait to see it in the end.
It's going to be terrific.
This is a great property.
Work begins to remove all of the old landscaping, plants, pavers, bricks, fencing. Everything must go. Demolition takes a whole day. Now the earth gets moved around and sculpted, and the crew begins to lay the foundation for what will be a huge new landscape. The next step is to set up the casings where footers will be poured for the new deck.
Well, Jim, this is a big project, and I see there's lots to get done, and you had some extra contractors come in.
Well, there's a lot of coordination happening on this job. A job this scale, we have a lot of other elements. We have electrical work, we have plumbing work, and of course, as part of our design, there's a brand new deck that's going into this space. So that's a separate contractor as well. So we had to coordinate everybody's efforts so we weren't working over the top of each other, kind of plan it through. Originally, we came across a couple surprises. We had the original electrical service that went out to the spa where it was located was really inadequate, so we had to make accommodations to redo that. Underneath the deck, we were hoping originally to maintain some of the original structure and add on to it. But after we ripped it apart, when it was originally constructed, it was really done in a very poor fashion, so it was really unusable, so we had to take it all out. And now we've had to come in and we're digging all new footers and setting tubes here to pour our concrete for the footers for the deck. We've also buried new conduit lines and stuff in here. So again, all this has to be done before we can come in and do any paving or wall work or any of our work.
Some rain moves in on this project, turning the dirt into mud and slowing things down. But the forecast is looking sunnier. Coming up next, more of the terrain is dug up and walls start to go up.
If you've never been to Chestnut Hill Nursery during the Christmas season, you really have to stop by. We have fresh cut Christmas trees from local growers, custom handmade wreaths, fresh garland, and gorgeous cemetery items, specially made to honor your loved one. Bring the whole family down to pick out a tree. We have all your favorite varieties. We're open for the Christmas season to December 24th. So stop in. We're located on Route 209 in Broadheadsville or on the web at chnursery.com.
What's the easiest way to ensure you'll have heat this winter?
Have your heating system serviced and maintained now before it gets too cold. Heating systems require regular maintenance in order to perform as efficiently as they were designed. A consistent schedule of heating system maintenance will catch many problems while they're still minor and correctable. Call KMB Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical today to schedule your maintenance. And if you need a new system, KMB can recommend a system that will meet your needs. Call 570-460-0111 now for a free estimate. We are lending money at the First Northern Bank and Trust, and you can apply online or in person.
Check out our home equity line of credit.
We offer commercial mortgages, business loans, lines of credit, and term loans to fit your needs.
Or our Flex Term Home Equity Line of Credit.
We also offer home mortgage loans,
Personal loans and more.
Local decision-making speeds the process.
Come in today to any of our 11 branches to talk to an experienced lender and find out how we can help you achieve your dreams. At First Northern Bank and Trust, your community, our commitment. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The landscape is starting to take shape as work around the pool continues. One of the first walls is now up. It's a retaining wall coming off the side of the house.
Well, Jim, it's been a week on the project and we got some rainy weather that slowed things down.
We had a really wet week last week and it did slow down the project a little bit. You can see we had quite a bit of mud here we're still playing around with. But things are drying up now. We're making some pretty good progress. This is our first wall we're putting in. It's going to be the retaining wall to hold back the area that we're going to be doing the paving around the pool. And because of the weather, and also you'll notice we have these tubes here. That's for our fence posts. After we get the pool up, we're going to have fencing around the whole pool. So we're putting those in so we can do that at a later date. We had to make a little bit of a change up on top there because it was so wet and muddy last week. We couldn't get the equipment down in here. So we had to bring in some stone and create a little bit of a roadway so we can move up and down. But we're making progress now.
More of the ground is dug up to accommodate features in this new landscape. It will give the homeowner more usable backyard space.
There you go.
A lot of different levels here in this terrain.
Well, you know, grades are always a big issue on a project like this here. And of course, the pool deck, the concrete pool deck is a controlling grade for us. So we have to kind of work with that. So the deck height was built off of that, between that and the threshold of the doors. And then, of course, all our work, we don't want any water flowing into the pool, so we want to make sure we have drainage away from the pool. So as we create this area here, we do our pave, we have some special drainage considerations, which I'm going to show you later on in the show that we're putting in. But the wall, what you're going to see now is the wall is going to go over in this area. They're going to start doing that fairly shortly. This was a cutout, so when we build the wall, we need to put in our geogrid and our fabric and our drain stone. So that's a cutout. This gets backfilled again once it's all built and constructed. So that'll take some of this grade away, and then we're going to change some of the grade here and put some other retaining walls up behind us. So it'll all come together real nice in the end.
Cool.
With the good weather here, work moves quickly on building retaining walls to hold back this massive hill. This not only gives the homeowner more space, it gives a nice finished landscape to look at while relaxing outdoors. Another big part of the tiered landscape is a way to reach the upper level, so a large stone stairway is set in place.
Well, Jim, we got some nice, hot, dry weather.
Finally, we're overdue with the weather for sure on this project particularly. So we're nearing the completion of the wall. This is kind of the tail end where it comes into this existing structure. And you can see what we've done here. We have our base material down below here, pretty thick. You know, we give it good support. We have a sand bed, setting bed, and then we put our block on top. Remember, these are the hollow blocks, so that gets filled with our clean stone.
Right.
And then this kind of ends this completion, or completes this section of the wall. But I want to take you down here and show you something we did special over there.
Okay.
So I wanted to point out something we did here. We kind of adapted the wall a little bit. Even though we had a plan specifically of how this wall was going to be laid out, a lot of times when we get on a project, we have to do a little adaptation because it fits the space a little bit better. So in this case, we have our boulders going up alongside of our steps, and we came up with a transition wall. Originally, this wall was supposed to come completely across, and we decided to take an upper wall and swing it in like you see here, which is going to create a nice little space over here for doing some planting. And of course, when we do that, there's always those little detail works. And what we've had to do here is once we made that transition and we swung this upper wall in above the lower wall, then we took our caps and we had to cut them in to fit this real nice. So it comes out to a really nice detail, and it shows really the talent of some of the guys we have working on the crew.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. So Jim, where are we at with this project?
Well, the next thing we're going to be doing, Connie, is pouring the concrete footers for the deck. The concrete truck's on the way up here now. We've got everything prepped. We've already pre-dug all those holes. We put in some forms, and then we're going to pour the concrete so that the deck builder can come in later and build the deck.
The concrete is poured into the cylinders and also into several wooden molds to make concrete pads. Posts are placed in some of the plastic tubes for the fence, and it all has to set for a couple of days. Coming up next, the pavers are placed around the pool and work on the new deck begins.
Hi, I'm Jim Skakoza, and now that you've seen the work we do, don't you think it's time to transform your yard into that magical place you've dreamed of? At Chestnut Hill Nursery, we can create a landscape for the way you live. Whether you're looking for a simple walkway, an elegant outdoor kitchen, or maybe you just want to spruce up your existing landscape, we can help you get there. It's your yard, so dream big or keep it simple, we can create a design just for you. What are you waiting for? This is the best time of all to start planning your dream landscape.
Hi, my name is Kelly Hunter, and I'd like to introduce Just For Me Book Boutique. Just For Me Book Boutique creates personalized storybooks that make your child the star of the story. Each book includes the child's name, age, hometown, and the names of their friends. As parents and grandparents, we know it can sometimes be challenging to get our children to want to read independently. But we believe that reading is always more fun when the story is written just for me, and every child is more inclined to pick up a book that tells a story about something that they're interested in and includes their friends. Our books make wonderful keepsakes, and you can personalize your child's holiday by gifting one of our titles or by sending a personalized letter from Santa Claus to the child. If your school or group is looking for a unique holiday fundraiser, please don't hesitate to contact us to get started. To place an order, visit our online store at justformebookboutique.com. Like us on Facebook, and remember to share us with like-minded parents who know that developing an early and consistent love of reading is the one gift that you can give to ensure a lifetime of learning and success for your child.
This project has several tiers in the backyard. To keep it as maintenance-free as possible, river gravel mulch is placed in some of the planting beds. Pavers are being placed around the entire pool area, a project that takes several days.
Well, Jim, the guys are doing a great job on these pavers.
Yeah, it's a beautiful paver. This is a random pattern, nice gray color. The homeowner chose to go with kind of a monochromatic look back here. So the pavers and the walls are basically the same color. The decking is going to be a gray, the siding is a gray, and then we'll pull in spots of color. But what we're trying to do now is get most of, if not all, the paving completed around the pool. So once we're done with that, then the deck contractor can come in and start building, framing, and putting the deck together.
The paver work wraps up and work begins on the deck.
it took us 2 days to frame it and 2 days to put the top on. I'd say about 2 weeks from start to finish with all the detail work and demo work. We just tore the old deck apart, and then we had to wait for Jim to do all the work around the deck and the pool. And then we just framed the deck, and here we are today. It's all composite. It's a clip system. There's no face screwing of the product. It's all screwed from the edges. Well, it's a better appearance. You don't see a screw or anything in the deck. Just on the face board, that's it. It's just more of a finished product. It's just the appearance is a lot cleaner and no splinters with like pressure treat to get some splinters. This is all one smooth product, man-made, and it's supposed to last.
Jim, I really love how this deck has come together. It really is nice.
Yeah, it really did. And so here's the problem we had here. The pool is so close to the house, and the deck space, the way it was laid out, we don't have a lot of room to work with. So we have a lot of elevation between the floor of the deck and the floor of the pavers, and we didn't want to give up any space in the pool area. So we readjusted the way we brought our steps down into the area. But one of the things we didn't want to do is be in the pool or in this space and having to look underneath the deck and see all the framing. So what we did with the deck contractor is come up with a way of framing this out and then screening it off. This is all composite material, no maintenance to it whatsoever, beautiful stuff. So we close that all off, so now we got a nice finished space here. You're not looking at the underneath of the deck. And as you come up here, you can see we've got the composite deck in here. We've got beautiful white vinyl railings. This is on the deck, and we also use the same railings in and around the pool for safety. So it's coming together just beautiful.
Jim, you know, this has been a huge project, but it's really coming together nice.
Well, we're in the home stretch here now, so we've got the full court press on, we got all the guys in here, we're completing the planting, we're finishing up the planting beds with our river gravel mulch, we're also fixing up and finalizing the lighting, we're doing final grading on the areas that have to be seeded, and then we're going to do a final cleanup and a final walkthrough, and before you know it, we'll be completed here. So it's been a long stretch, but it's wonderful to finally see the whole thing come together the way we envisioned it and the way the homeowner envisioned it.
This project is finally done, and coming up next, we'll take you on a tour of the finished landscape.
If you've never been to Chestnut Hill Nursery during the Christmas season, you really have to stop by. We have fresh cut Christmas trees from local growers, custom handmade wreaths, fresh garland, and gorgeous cemetery items, specially made to honor your loved one. Bring the whole family down to pick out a tree. We have all your favorite varieties. We're open for the Christmas season to December 24th. So stop in. We're located on Route 209 in Broadheadsville or on the web at chnursery.com.
We are lending money at the First Northern Bank and Trust, and you can apply online or in person.
Check out our home equity line of credit.
We offer commercial mortgages, business loans, lines of credit, and term loans to fit your needs.
Or our Flex Term Home Equity Line of Credit.
We also offer home mortgage loans.
Personal loans and more.
Local decision-making speeds the process.
Come in today to any of our 11 branches to talk to an experienced lender and find out how we can help you achieve your dreams. At First Northern Bank and Trust, your community, our commitment. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's the easiest way to ensure you'll have heat this winter?
Have your heating system serviced and maintained now before it gets too cold. Heating systems require regular maintenance in order to perform as efficiently as they were designed. A consistent schedule of heating system maintenance will catch many problems while they're still minor and correctable. Call KMB Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical today to schedule your maintenance. And if you need a new system, KMB can recommend a system that will meet your needs. Call 570-460-0111 now for a free estimate.
This big project is finally finished. It's exciting to see it all done.
Yeah, it is. We had a lot of coordination on this job. We've been here a while, but the end result is fantastic. So why don't we go down and take a look?
Okay.
Well, Connie, I don't know if you remember, but the this was where we began. Remember that day you gave you the hammer and we were taking that old piece of fencing down?
I do remember.
Okay. You almost got into a lot of trouble that day.
I
But
know.
that was right in this area, okay? So there was that old fencing, there were old pavers around the pool area. Of course, the pool was already here, and there was an old retaining wall out of old block where we took all down. So what we had to do was really open up this space. So the way to do that was to create some retaining walls. We have this huge gap here between the level ground and the high ground above, and we didn't want to create too much of a slope. So what we had to do was build these retaining walls to retain everything back and open up some space to create a new entry coming in here. And it worked out pretty well. As you can see, we've got several tiers on the wall, and one of the things which was really interesting is how we incorporated the boulders, and all these boulders came from on site here.
Right.
The homeowner actually pulled them out of the woods for us, and we actually placed them into the wall and to the steps going up into strategic locations, so they add a lot of emphasis and design element to the wall and make it feel like we brought the woods out into the open space here. So it worked out really good. Now, if you recall, this is a brand new deck.
Right.
And one of the important features of this whole project for the homeowner was to create a large deck space. So they have this large deck space now that gets incorporated into the rest of the house. We have the hot tub, which was here, but was not in use. So we created a space for the hot tub right within the deck. And then we also have the space going down, stairs going down to the patio area down around the pool, the new patio area. New fencing, okay? And we color coordinated. We wanted to keep it a very neutral color here. The siding and the roof on the house is in the gray tones, so we kept everything gray. And then they're going to incorporate some pots of color and stuff in the landscape as they go forward to bring some color into the scheme. So let's take a walk down here and see what the patio looks like.
All right.
Okay, so here we come down onto the patio from the brand new deck, okay, and we had to make a change here because the original plans called for the deck stairs to come down in line with the stairs going into the pool. But one of the concerns the homeowner had was reserving enough space on the deck, didn't really want to cut into that space. So instead what we've done is we changed the steps to come out on this angle, which gave them the space they wanted on the deck, nice egress into the house from here. Now remember there was that old deck that was existing here, it was really in bad shape. We tore all that out, put a brand new deck here obviously. And the other thing that we did, if you look down underneath here, is the screening. Obviously with the elevation change in here, we didn't want to be sitting in the pool and having to look underneath the deck.
Right.
So what we did was we screened this off real nice so it all ties in really great.
It's a great product.
So let's walk around the other side and I'll show you some other features.
Okay.
So coming over here, Connie, you can see another vantage point from the pool. Now you can sit in the hot tub and see the pool. You can walk out of the hot tub onto the deck, so it all flows real nicely. Now, there was another feature we had to incorporate here. We built these retaining walls, and we really didn't want to have water laying in this space. So we have positive pitch away from the pool, out against the wall, but if we didn't do something about the drainage there, we'd have all this water laying at the wall. So as you recall, we put in these little channel drains. So now what happens as the water comes across here, they go down into that channel drain, and that gets piped out and it goes off the property on the other end. So that really solved that problem and keeps the patio space dry, and we don't have any issues with water. And you'll also notice, if you look behind you here, this is one of our LED wall lights that's mounted underneath the cap, okay? And what that does at night is just puts a nice little warm glow on the patio space down here. There's some additional lighting that we did. So at nighttime, it just creates that whole new feel and ambiance. And then of course, we put new fencing all the way around to secure the whole area, and it came together beautifully. So here we come towards the corner of the patio. Now, if you recall, all this filter equipment for the pool was all over in this area, very close to the pool. It had that ugly fence around it, the little retaining wall that was here. Again, the original plan had called for some fencing and to maintain the space for the pool and for the pool filter, I should say. But then he wanted to add a heater, so they decided, you know what, let's move this further out. So what we had to do was change the wall a little bit. We created a concrete pad to sit the filter and the heater on now. It's out of the way, and he gained all this additional space down here in the patio for entertaining, which really worked out great. So again, a lot of the times in these projects, we kind of change things as we go once we get underway, especially on a larger project like this here, because the homeowner will get involved and say, you know, while we're doing this, or how about if we do it this way? So we can always make those adjustments.
Nice.
So out here, you know, this is the fence we put up, and you recall, let's step outside and I'll show you.
Okay.
How we had to set those tubes down on the ground so we can concrete the posts in. So you can see, I mean, this is really secure. This is not going anywhere.
Right.
So if somebody leans against this, it's all concreted in, but we had to do all that. It's part of the things that we need to do in terms of the foundation work when we get started on a project, and make sure they're all in the right positions before we go, so when we come back and put our fencing up, everything is where it belongs. Yeah. And then we finished it. We have the edge of our pave there. We have this nice river gravel here, and we have this little bit of curbing here separating the river gravel from the lawn area. So it really came together pretty nicely, and it gives it a great finish.
Yeah, it looks great from every angle.
It sure does. Imagine your new landscape project from this vantage point. We can make it happen. Give us a call or contact us on the web at chnursery.com.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here.
So what do you think? We'll take a dip back here in the pool?
I think it'd be a good idea.
I think it's a good idea too.
And I get to use a hammer.
Oh, that's going to be dangerous.
One swing. I don't worry, I'm gonna go that way. I got water, but it's all the way down there in the car.
Yeah, you want to go get it for me?
I could if you really need me to.
Okay.
We could sit in the jacuzzi with our clothes on.
The no water jacuzzi.
Almost went in the pool.
Well, this was too much fun, wasn't it? You got the pool back there. You want to take a dip?
I do actually.
Yeah.
I want to go off the diving board.
Yeah.